The most, let's say, where the places where Jews were living in Italy, where you could find most of them in 1861, 1938. You can see the concentration of Jews in the biggest community. Next slide, 14, is about the distribution of Jews in Italy in 1861. You can see it's only from central and the north. There's no Jews at all living in the south. Next slide is about the proportion of the Jews in total population. You can see Pitigliano, that's a very small place in Tuscany, Mantova, Livorno, which was 5% of the population being Jewish in 1871. So you can see the weight of the Jewish population in different Italian towns. Next slide is the occupation of the Jews in Ancona, 1931. You can see that most of them, in fact, 40% were traders, 25% clerks, 10% the liberal professions, and so on. So, of course, you find almost no one in farming, 1%, very few operai, workers, very few workers. They were part of the bourgeoisie, if I can say so. Benestanti means that it's someone who had money and he didn't need to work because they had money to live. Owners and benestanti means you don't need to work. Next slide, it's in the same proportional equation in Gorizia. It's not so far from Ancona. Lots of traders. You can see Ebrei above and Cristiani below, so Jews and Christian. You can see the difference in proportion when it comes to occupation among Jews and Christian in Gorizia. Slide 17, you can find all the surnames. Let's say it's actually this book. It is a small book. It's called I cognomi degli ebrei d'Italia, the surnames of the Jews of Italy. And it's a complete list of the surnames of the Jews of Italy in the 1920s. So, and divided by cognomi geografici italiani, it means Italian geographical surnames. Next page is next page, but you also have German surnames, Spanish surnames, which are especially in Livorno, Oriental surnames, and so on. Next page is someone was interested about the Franchetti family. I don't know if there's anyone here. You? Yes. So in fact, this book you also have the list of the Jews which had received some noble title. At the end of it, so there are several members of there are Baroni, Franchetti, barons, and there are a few of them, and so on. I think that you ask, there were a series of questions, if I can open a small parenthesis for the gentleman there. You asked about whether this family was well known in Italy. Yes, it was not. It was not like the Rothschild family. No, I wouldn't say so. But there were a few. They belong to the few families which receive a nobiliary title from the king. You ask why did they receive nobiliary title? For two reasons. First, because they were giving money to the monarchy, lending, but also because they contributed a lot to the development of a railway system in Italy. They were financing the construction of the railways. There were a lot to be constructed, so that's why the king gave them the title. There was a member of the family who was a famous explorer, by the way, and his grave is in Eritrea. He explored Asia, Africa, famous explorer.
Do you know what year he got the baron title?
Yes, I know.
1858.
1858. 17th of October. Right. Became a baron. The next slide is, we commented it already, it was about the fact that In the 14th century, Jews had no surname in Italy. Next slide, Jews of Sicily, we saw it. And then here you can have, I assume that some of you had an interest maybe about the Jews in Livorno, because,
Yes.
so you have a list of, it's a complete list of the surnames of the Jews in Livorno, according to the catasto. The catasto is the
Land registry.
land registry. So if they had property, they're there. In 1640 and other sources, in 1644, by alphabetic order. So you have the surnames of the Jews of Livorno in 1644, and you also have, so continue, Allegato 10. You have the name of the Jews who founded the fraternity.
Brotherhood.
Yes, brotherhood of. So you have a series of. As you can see, if you look at these surnames, what do you notice? That most of them they are of Sephardic origin. A few Italians, but most of them totally Sephardic origin. Next slide, 22. It's slide 22. You see a genealogic tree, Ascoli family. Now, before you think that I'm boasting, it is not my family. It's Gina's family.
You're 100% sure of that?
Well, we are. I was more successful because I managed to go backwards in time with her family, from someone born in 1564. So I was more successful with her family than my one. But we think, if you go to a site, we think that there was this Giuseppe Ascoli. You can see an arrow, Gibraltar, London. He went to Gibraltar. He was changed his name in Joseph Ascoli, and then to London.
We've got Ascolis now in Gibraltar. We're blood relatives.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So I am pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure, but 95% sure that this is the origin of Gina's family. Because she also. Sorry, please.
Non-Jewish people have place names like Finzi or whatever, who aren't Jewish.
What is the difference? What is the difference? Let's take the surname Ascoli, okay? If you are called but for Ascoli there is a slight complication because there is Ascoli in Marche region, and there is also another town called Ascoli Satriano in the south. So there are a few people from this town, because let me put it like this: if you are from the south of Italy, you can have a geographical name like Messina. This doesn't mean that you're Jewish, because they were all expelled from south of Italy. Okay, but from the center and the north of Italy, if you are from Ascoli and you're a Christian, you are not called Ascoli. You are called either Ascolani from Ascoli or D'Ascoli or something like that. So let's take, I don't know, Fano. The Jews, if you are Jewish origin, you are called Fano, the exact place. If you are Christian, you are called Fanesi, from Fano. So there is a difference in Milano. You're called Milano, you are Jewish, but if you're called Milanesi, you're Christian, and so on. So it's there's
Can I just ask, were Jews not allowed to use the Christian variant of the surname or place name?
No, no. It is because Jewish and Christian surnames develop at different time. So
Okay.
someone from Milano was called Milanesi, means he's from Milan. But the Jews were called X, son of Y, from, let's say, da Milano, from or Ascoli or so. And then this da fell, or da Fano fell. In fact, in the 14th century, you start seeing X son of Y, da Fano, from Fano, da and so on. But then the da falls, and the only thing which remains is just the surname itself. So it was That's how you distinguish. We have also, what follows is examples of some records we have. We have quite a good number of records in Italy. Depends which town you're interested in. For instance, in Ferrara, we have basically, these are only a few pages, but a couple of pages, but you have the full list. There was a Jewish census. They were offered census of Jews for taxation reasons and so on. You have a Jewish census, complete, from 1692. If you have an ancestor in Ferrara, you'll find him there in 1692. I have, the book is big like this, of course, but I only have 2 pages here. The same in Rome, in 1733. You have a full census of the Jews in Rome, where you have 800, I put the last page there, 892 families. It is indicated, the name, the surname, it is by family, not by person. The name, the surname, the relation of the person to the head of the family, moglie, wife, or femmina, means daughter, and so on. And the age. So from here, and also from the census in Rome, you can see also how exactly what was the age of these people at the time of the census. We continue. The surnames of the Marche region. You have the surnames of the Jew in Ancona, Pesaro, Senigallia, and Urbino at the beginning of the 19th century or in the 18th century. You can see here I put the full list, so you can see all the surnames of the Jews in these 4 places from Marche, which were the only 4 places who could stay, because at the times of the expulsion, Pesaro, Senigallia, and Urbino were not yet part of the state of the church, so the Jews could stay there. And Ancona